Anti-government protesters have again flooded the streets of Iran, despite the authorities resorting to lethal force against them. Human rights groups are reporting hundreds of deaths in nationwide protest. The Islamic regime has ordered counter-rallies in an attempt to regain the initiative. And the government is warning that the U.S. should not intervene in the biggest challenge to its rule in years.
Corpses in black bags left on a street, and grieving relatives who've come to identify the remains. The location of this video, outside a morgue south of Tehran, has been verified. Its date has not. But rights groups agree that it documents people killed during Iran's nationwide protests. This, it seems, is the bitter consequence of the crackdown that the regime signaled was coming. Iran's chief of police warned on Sunday that protesters would be dealt with swiftly and forcefully. Authorities have cut off the internet for more than 3 days now. Reliable information is scarce, but there's evidence of the crackdown across the country. This footage from a hospital in Shiraz, which has been verified by DW's Farsi service, appears to show beds full of injured protesters. One doctor had this call for help.
بچه‌ها ما نمیتونیم زنگ بزنیم. منم نمیتونم. اگه شما میتونید به تلویزیونا زنگ بزنید بگید ما نیاز به جراح داریم. نورسرجن میخوایم، ارتوپد میخوایم، چشم پزشک میخوایم. ما نیاز به جراح داریم الان. نمیتونیم بهشون زنگ بزنیم که پشتن بیان. 20 تا مریض الان اومده، هیچ کدومشون نمیتونیم هیچ کاری بکنیم. زنگ بزنید به شبکه‌ها بهشون بگید پخش کنن، کمک میخوایم، بیمارستانا کمک میخوان.
The protests in Iran are in their third week. A key question now, what help can they still receive, with the regime's security apparatus having them in its sights?
Let's bring in now Niloofar Gholami, joining us from DW's Farsi service. Walk us through what's happened now overnight, because the internet is still shut down, we understand, right?
Yeah, now for more than 84 hours, Iran has been almost completely cut off from the outside world, something that I think it's hard for many of our viewers to imagine. SMS services, domestic and international phone calls, banking systems, and administrative services are also down. The little information that we have has come through Starlink internet access, which itself is not safe to use for long periods due to the risk of exposure. And we know that the authorities are actively trying to disrupt them as well. Even electricity is being cut off after 8 p.m., leaving people in darkness. And yet, despite all of this, reports indicate that people are still taking to the streets. As you've shown before, disturbing videos have emerged from Tehran showing many body bags and families desperate to find their loved ones. In nearly every message coming from inside Iran, people say they are looking to the international community for help, asking for intervention to prevent further bloodshed. In many cities, people describe the situation to be like a war zone, with government forces recklessly shooting at civilians, and several videos have circulated in which the sound of heavy weapons can be clearly heard. So the situation is not good at the moment in Iran for the people.
And U.S. President Donald Trump has told reporters, meantime, that the Iranian leadership has called him to, quote, negotiate. I want to listen into what he said.
Iran called to negotiate. Yesterday, the leaders of Iran called, they want to negotiate. I think they're tired of being beat up by the United States. Iran wants to negotiate, yes.
Negotiate what?
We may meet with them. I mean, the meeting is being set up. But we may have to act because of what's happening before the meeting. Right. But a meeting is being set up. Iran called, they want to negotiate.
Would U.S. involvement likely help or harm the situation for the Iranian people? I mean, how did the Iranian people view a potential intervention?
It is true that foreign intervention has some critics. However, based on reactions and statements from opposition figures and messages from inside Iran, many believe that U.S. involvement could help the Iranian people. And as I mentioned earlier, in nearly all messages coming from inside Iran, people also ask about the need for help from the West, particularly from President Trump in the US, with the hope that this could help stop the Islamic Republic's killing machine. President Trump himself has repeatedly said that he supports the Iranian people's protests and he would take action if protesters are killed. And many Iranians also carry a painful memory from the Green movement in 2009 when they expected a stronger support from President Obama, for example, and they didn't receive it. At that time, the government carried out a violent crackdown as well, though even the death toll was not at this scale that we see now. This time, the regime appears deeply frightened, likely believes that without severe repression, it would not be able to stay in power.
Niloofar Gholami of DW Farsi, thank you so much.
Thank you.